Hello, students, and welcome to the class of Standard 7, subject History. Today, we shall continue with the second half of the lesson, An Ideal Ruler, chapter number 8.
Before we continue with this module, let us revise what we learned in the previous module. The ideal ruler means Shivaji Maharaj, and about his ideal qualities we are going to talk about. So, first we learn about his organizational skills. Maharaj inspired the people around him to work for Swaraj. His organizational skill was unparalleled. With this skill, he drew around himself brave people who were also extremely loyal. These close associates of Maharaj performed their duty, even by risking their own lives. There are many instances of this in the founding of the Swaraj. Jiva Mahala, who killed Baba Sayyad at a critical moment during the meeting with Afzal Khan. Shiva Kashid, who crossed the siege of Panhalgarh in the disguise of Shivaji Maharaj. Baji Prabhu Deshpande, who blocked the advances of the enemy on the way to Vishalgarh. Murarbaji Deshpande, who defended the fort of Purandar. Tanaji Malusare, who sacrificed his life while conquering Simhagad. Hiroji Farzan and Madari Mehter, who risked their lives during the escape of Maharaj from Agra, etc. Maharaj took great care of his associates. For example, Kanhoji Jedhe was associated with Maharaj in the work of the Swaraj from the very beginning. When the aging Kanhoji fell ill, Maharaj told him not to neglect his medicines or treatment on any account. Next topic is caring for the Ryot. While establishing the Swaraj, Maharaj had to constantly struggle against his enemies. His subjects suffered due to enemy invasions. At such times, Maharaj used to take utmost care to protect the Ryot. At the time of Shaista Khan's campaign, Maharaj warned the Deshmukh of the Rohida Valley not to fail in his duty towards the Ryot. He told Deshmukh to visit every village and shift people to a safe place down the Ghats. He strictly told him not to delay even for a moment. He further warned the Deshmukh that if he did not thus take care of the Ryot, the Mughal army would take the people prisoner, and then it would be seen as the Deshmukh's doing. Maharaj also saw to it that the soldiers did not in any way cause any harm to the Ryot. Third point is policy regarding the army. Maharaj maintained a strict discipline in the army. He was particular about paying the salaries of the army in time. He made arrangements to pay the salaries of soldiers in cash. In various kingdoms in medieval India and elsewhere, there was a system of making payments to soldiers in the form of jagirs. Maharaj set this practice aside. There was a strict order to the army that any valuables collected during the campaigns in enemy territories were to be deposited with the government. Soldiers were honored for their bravery in a campaign. He looked after the maintenance of the families of soldiers who died in battle. He took care of the wounded soldiers. He treated well the enemy soldiers who had surrendered themselves or who had been captured. And the last point is a policy of tolerance. Maharaj had to struggle against his enemies, the Adil Shah, the Mughals, and the Siddhis. They were Islamic powers. While Maharaj struggled against them, he considered the Mughals in the Swaraj as his own subjects. At the time of the meeting with Afzal Khan, Siddhi Ibrahim was a trusted servant in his army. Siddhi Hilal was a Sardar in the army of Maharaj. Daulat Khan was an important officer in the navy of the Swaraj. Maharaj followed a tolerant religious policy. In the enemy territories that he conquered, he continued the facilities that had been given to the Muslim places of worship. His contemporary historian, Kafi Khan, writes about the tolerant religious policy of Maharaj. Shivaji had framed strict rules for his soldiers that during the campaigns they should not harm a mosque. If they came in possession of a copy of the Holy Quran, they should hand over the same with reverence to a Muslim. And with this points, we completed or we stopped in the first module. In this video, we will continue with some more inspiring values or qualities of Shivaji Maharaj as an ideal ruler. The inspiration for freedom. The efforts that Shivaji Maharaj made to establish Swaraj have a special value. It is the value of freedom. He aimed at establishing and maintaining an independent and sovereign existence that did not accept the dominance of other power. These values of sovereignty or independence we get to learn only in the modern India, where India struggled for freedom against the British. So it was so many years after Shivaji Maharaj that India realized the importance of independence and the importance of sovereignty. But Shivaji Maharaj in the medieval age was of this mentality that we should not be under any foreign dominance or under any foreign rule. And so his main aim was the establishment of Swaraj, or not to fall prey to any kind of foreign rule or foreign domination, be it by the Mughals or the Adil Shahi, the Nizam Shahi, or even the foreign invaders which came later on, including the British, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the French. So Shivaji Maharaj was true to his land, and he wanted every person to be independent, and he wanted a sovereign state. Sovereign state is where we are not under any foreign rule, and whatever decisions we want to take for our nation, we are free to take it. While struggling against the foreign powers, Maharaj inspired others too for freedom. Okay, so he himself first realized the importance of freedom, whereas others, there were many Maharajas and in the medieval age who got scared looking at the power of Mughals or looking at the power of the British, and they easily surrendered. They easily gave their kingdom in the hands of the enemies, and they accepted to be sardars under the control of the foreign powers. But Shivaji Maharaj would accept to die rather than to surrender, and this quality inspired other kings also, or other leaders also of different kingdoms, because he taught them to fight for their freedom. When Chhatrasal, who was in the service of the Mughals, came to see Maharaj, Maharaj inspired him to create an independent kingdom in Bundelkhand. Because now Chhatrasal was a person who was under Mughal influence. He was just a ruler or just a leader or just a sardar, we can say, under Mughals. And when he came to see Maharaj, he was amazed and he was inspired by the way Shivaji Maharaj was confident, Shivaji Maharaj was independent, and this somewhere pricked in him the the thought that he can also have his own independent kingdom in Bundelkhand rather than working under the Mughals. So this is how Shivaji Maharaj was constantly, and this is just one example of Chhatrasal. But there were many kings and many other sardars who were inspired by him, and even they decided to follow this value of independence and value of sovereignty. Greatness of Maharaja's work. Maharaj established Swaraj while fighting against many enemies. This action itself proves that he was a pioneer of a new era. But besides this action, many other noble qualities are found in his personalities. And we are going to look to all these noble qualities or unique qualities of Shivaji Maharaj. Maharaj was very intelligent. He had mastered many arts. He was conversant with many languages and scripts. The teachings of his parents towards the establishment of Swaraj and ethics were deeply instilled in his mind.
We have learned this in the previous chapters also, that his parents Jizabai and Shaji Raje were constantly putting in him good values, or all the values that are necessary for a good king. And these values were imprinted on his mind in his very young age, and it was always there in his mind. There was a blend of character and strength, nobility and valor in his personality. He had innumerable qualities like leadership, management, foresight. Foresight means thinking, or trying to see what will happen next, or what will be the outcome of every action that a person does. Political diplomacy, effective policy about regional and military administration, commitment to truth and justice, attitude of equality, visualization of future activities, the skill of seeing his planned ventures through. Okay, he had a plan, he had a vision of Swaraj, and he could see through it, and he could imagine how his kingdom would be when they would be free. So he had this amazing visionary powers. In the sense, this is not something supernatural natural that I want to tell you, but this is also a quality or an art that he had learned or he had mastered, to imagine, to visualize things and to bring it into reality. That is, to dream of something and try to achieve his dream and or fulfill his dream. Rising over the calamities without giving up, alertness, vigilance, and so on. All these values are actually very necessary for a king or a Maharaja to be a powerful or a successful one. And Shivaji Maharaj, he actually possessed all of these values. He used to punish those severely who would misbehave with women. He used to take care of all sections of the society, like farmers, craftsmen, soldiers, traders, merchants, etc. He used to harbor the same respect for people of different religions that he had for people of his own religion, without any discrimination. He even established family bonds with them. He brought back into Swadharma, their original religion, persons who had converted to another religion, though there was an opposition to such a reconversion at that time. Swadharma is bringing people back to their own religion. Sometimes the Mughals forcefully, or even the Britishers, they forcefully converted the people who were who were of the weaker section, who could not stand or who could not fight back. So these people were forcefully converted to other religion, and Shivaji Maharaj brought these people back to their Swadharma, which means own religion. At that time, there was opposition on religious grounds to crossing the seas, yet he built sea forts like Sindhudurg and created a navy. This means that he had made preparation for countering foreign invasions that came from the sea. He became the ruler of Swaraj officially through his coronation. He later had a second coronation from a different religious perspective. All these actions show his revolutionary aspects in the field of religion. Okay, he was not a very backward minded person. He was very modern in that sense. Okay, whatever religious things were there, he hold on to the religious values, but whatever he thought is not necessary or is baseless, those values also he tried to change. When there were threats to Swaraj, he would face them with or without his associates. Due to this, even his associates were ready to sacrifice their lives for Swaraj. Of course, his greatness was not confined to the quality of facing calamities bravely and fearlessly. He wanted to have an ethical, qualitative base to the Swaraj. This is why he would give orders, even regarding minor issues, along with the important ones. The order that prohibited soldiers from taking vegetables from the fields of the peasants by force is exemplary from this point of view. The restrictions on the cutting of trees enforced by him are also noteworthy. We are talking about conservation of environment now, But Shivaji Maharaj was aware of the causes or the evil effects of cutting down of trees, and so he put restrictions on the cutting of trees in the medieval age. He had ordered that the garbage on the fort should be burned in an allotted space without dumping it elsewhere, and vegetables should be thrown on its ash. It becomes clear from this fact that he would pay close attention to the minutest details while establishing Swaraj. He was not just a warrior, but also a sculptor who created a new, independent, ethical, and cultured society. His greatness is comprehensive. Okay, whatever qualities Shivaji Maharaj had are really outstanding, and especially of his age or in the medieval period, people did not have this kind of forward thinking. But Shivaji Maharaj, he thought of every aspect of the society. He thought about people, he thought about waste management also, and he thought about environment, he thought about his enemies. So he was a person who was not selfish. No, we can never call him selfish, but he was a selfless leader, which makes him the ideal ruler. In our national movement, Maharaj was a great source of inspiration. In his struggle for equality, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule described in his Povadas the greatness of Shivaji Maharaj. Povada is a song which is sung to show the greatness of a king. Okay, usually we have songs devoted to God. Okay, religious songs we have, devotional songs we call them. So the songs which were sung to talk about the greatness of a king, those songs were called as Povadas. So Mahatma Jyotirao Phule has written Povadas on the greatness of Shivaji Maharaj. Lokmanya Tilak brought about national awakening through the medium of Shiva Jayanti celebration. We have Shiva Jayanti holidays every year, and this was brought about by Lokmanya Tilak. Okay, and Lokmanya Tilak especially, okay, brought this in order to make people aware of the importance of the contributions that Shivaji Maharaj has made in the earlier times. Lala Lajpat Rai has written a book about the greatness of Maharaj. The great Tamil poet Subramanyam Bharati has written a poem about an imaginary incident in which Shivaji Maharaj talks to his associates. Okay, so we have people from all the corners of the nation, not only Maharashtra, but also from Tamil Nadu, from the south region of India, who wrote about the greatness of Shivaji Maharaj. Vishwakavi Rabindranath Tagore has written a long poem on Maharaj. Tagore sees his efforts to found Swaraj as efforts for realizing a noble cause. Sir Jadunath Sarkar has praised his achievements in his book Shivaji and His Times. Okay, in this book, Shivaji and His Time, Sir Jadunath Sarkar has written about the greatness and the achievements of Shivaji Maharaj. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru has said that Maharaj did not belong to Maharashtra alone, he belonged to the whole Indian nation. He was a symbol of many virtues, more especially of love of country. Okay, because Shivaji Maharaj wanted freedom, and when we talk about freedom, it is not only for oneself but for the whole nation. So, this is how he himself inspired others, and so Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru also is saying that Shivaji Maharaj is not only of Maharashtrians, he is of the whole nation. All Indian languages have works that talk about him as an ideal ruler and a source of inspiration. Future generations too will continue to look upon his work of Shivaji, this work of Shivaji Maharaj of founding the Swaraj and turning it into Surajya as a source of inspiration, as an ideal. Shivaji Maharaj was a great national hero, and we can never forget his contribution towards the nation. So let us always cherish the values of Shivaji Maharaj, and let us also try to keep our nation united. With this, we finish this lesson. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you.